What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so Mitch McConnell, Republican senator out of Kentucky, had something occur today that was much more than just a mere senior moment in front of reporters. The Republican leadership were in front of reporters today talking about something. I think it might have something to do with something that they're working on as far as the defense budget. I can't remember exactly what the hell they were talking about. But anyway, Mitch McConnell was speaking, and then suddenly he froze. He froze, like completely froze, as if his soul had been knocked out of his body. It was just standing straight and staring ahead for 20 to 30 seconds. Until he was escorted out of the way, not back to the Senate chambers, but to the side, so that a more capable member of the leadership could talk. And he was so out of it that he wasn't even acknowledging people talking to him or asking him if he's okay. So, with this going on, you now have to really seriously say to yourself, okay, look, if you've been following politics, and if you've been trying to make excuses for these guys, for, people like me saying, look, it's time these guys get out of Congress, okay? These guys are in their 80s, some of them are approaching 90, and I know that we all get on Biden for being old, right? Biden is, 80 years old? Mitch McConnell is 81. Okay? Mitch McConnell has been in pretty bad health for a minute. Alright? Something was going on with his hand recently. As my boy LB put it, the burnt up jack off hand. So we've been dealing with the burnt up jack off hand for a number of years. Then a couple of months ago, I think he fell and suffered a concussion. So, you gotta wonder, man, if there's lingering effects with this dude, or was that a sign of some onset of something even more sinister? Who knows? All I know is he's 81 years old, and he was first elected to the Senate back in 1984. That's the year Ronald Reagan was reelected in a 49 state landslide. But that was also 39 years ago. And even then, he was already in his 40s when he was elected. He was 40, I think he was 42. Then you have Dianne Feinstein. She's hanging on. But even her staff has conceded that mentally she's not there like she once was, Then you got all these other people that are octogenarians at the very least. Bernie Sanders is in his 80s. Nancy Pelosi is in her 80s. You got some other people who are in their 80s, that are still in the Senate. And at this point, man, look, that's my issue with Trump. Trump might be a little bit more together, but the man still is 77 years old. I mean, when are the baby boomers going to sit the fuck down and let the next generation take over? I mean, you had one, and technically Barack Obama's still a baby boomer, but at least he was born in the 60s. You had one younger guy run for president, and after that you had all these people who were born in the 1940s still trying to vie for power. 1940s, even in the 1930s. It's time to step down. It's time. You people have been in power for 40 years, sometimes up to 50 years, you guys have been in power. It's time to step down, man. Let a new generation take over. We had this same problem 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when you had a lot of senators and congressmen who didn't know when to quit. You know, you had Fritz Hollins. I think he served until he was, 89? Even though I think he was relatively in good health, though. But then you had Strom Thurmond hanging on to the job like a dictator. He was 100, I think, when he left the Senate. 100. Robert Byrd died in office. Ted Kennedy died in office. So, you know, maybe it's time that Mitch quit being a bitch and step on down, man.